Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a very important update today on your benefits from the Social Security Administration, particularly for those receiving Social Security retirement benefits, Social Security disability insurance, or supplemental security income. This is something you'll want to act on before November 19th to make sure your payments continue smoothly and nothing slips through the cracks. First, let's talk about what's changing and why this matters. The Social Security Administration recently announced a cost of living adjustment for next year's benefits. That means that starting in January, most recipients of retirement, disability, and SSI benefits should see their monthly amount increase by an average amount. But beyond just the raise, the key action for you right now is ensuring that you're set up properly in the SSA system, so you can see that notice and get everything ready before the effective date arrives. Here's the most important part. The SSA is telling beneficiaries that they need to have their personal online account, known as My Social Security, set up by November 19th, if they want to access their COA notice online in early December, rather than waiting for a mailed letter. That's where the title of this message comes from. Important step before November 19th to keep SSA, SSI, and SSDI payments. Your payments aren't in immediate danger of disappearing, but if you haven't done this step, you risk delays, confusion, or missing out on seeing your updated benefit amount ahead of time. You might be wondering if your payment will be stopped if you don't set up the account. The answer is no. Your SSI, SSDI, or regular Social Security retirement payments are mandatory federal spending, which means they aren't subject to annual budget votes and should continue to arrive on schedule. However, having your account registered gives you better visibility and control. You'll be able to see the COA notice online, monitor your benefit amount, update your direct deposit information, verify your mailing address, and handle changes quickly if something looks off. Why November 19th? Because the SSA explains that if you want to view your COLA notice online, you must be enrolled by that date in the system. The letters will begin going out in December, and those without online access will still get a mailed letter, but that tends to be slower. So if you're still relying solely on paper mail or haven't created or logged into your online account yet, now is the time. Here's what you should do right now to make sure everything is in place. If you don't already have a My Social Security account, go to the SSA website and register. You'll need to verify your identity with your name, date of birth, Social Security number, and email address, and then set up login credentials. This gives you access to your benefit information, the ability to print statements, change your direct deposit or mailing information, and receive secure messages from the SSA. Once you're logged in, check that your direct deposit information is correct. Make sure your bank account number and routing information are up to date, and that you haven't inadvertently listed an account that's closed or no longer valid. Many issues with missed or delayed payments trace back to outdated banking info. Next, verify your mailing address and contact details. Even if you prefer online notices, having your correct address on file is crucial. If your address has changed and the SSA doesn't have that updated information, mailed notices might go to the wrong place and you may miss key information. Review your benefit amount in your account or compare it to your latest award letter to make sure what you receive makes sense. And be alert for any notices or messages that your account may require attention. Be aware of scams. Social Security will never contact you by email or text, asking you to send personal or bank account information to continue your benefits. If you receive such contact, treat it as suspicious because payments are guaranteed. You don't need to reapply or submit urgent paperwork just because of government news or shutdowns. Now, let's talk about the payment schedule for November so you know when your payment should arrive. For SSI recipients, the payment for November was sent out early on October 31st because November 1st fell on a weekend. For regular retirement, disability, or survivor benefits, most recipients will receive payment depending on their birth date. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment should arrive around the second week. Those born between the 11th and the 20th should expect their payment about a week later, and those born from the 21st to the end of the month should get it in the last week of November. If you began receiving benefits before May 1997, or receive both Social Security and SSI, your payment might arrive earlier in the month. Why is this schedule relevant to you? Because if your online account is not properly set up, you won't have the same access to monitor your benefit amount, which becomes more important now with the upcoming COA and any potential changes. If you're relying purely on mail, you could face delays or additional uncertainty. Let's talk about what the cost of living adjustment really means. The SSA calculates COA based on changes in the Consumer Price Index, which reflects inflation. That means the adjustment is designed to protect your purchasing power as the cost of everyday goods and services rises. The SSA also notes that those enrolled in Medicare may see changes in their premium or benefit amounts. Having your online account means you'll get timely access to those updates. Without your account, you'll wait for a mailed notice, which typically arrives later in December, meaning you could be less prepared heading into January. Setting up your account is about being proactive. It's not about preventing a cutoff. Your payments are secure, but about positioning yourself ahead of the change so you're not caught off guard. Especially if your banking or address information needs updating, now is the time to do it. In light of the current federal situation, there has been some anxiety about whether SSA payments might be delayed or reduced. Beneficiaries can breathe a little easier knowing that payments will continue on schedule because they're funded by mandatory spending. But while payments are safe, some administrative services at field offices may be limited. So relying on your online account is even more useful now. Creating or logging into your account now mitigates the risk of encountering service delays or being unable to ask for help when you need it. Here's a simple timeline to follow. Before November 19th, register or log into your My Social Security account. Review your banking and address information. Solidify your contact preferences in print or save any current benefit award letters. Make sure your login credentials are secure and that you have access to your email or phone for verification if needed. In late November and early December, watch your online message center for your COA notice. Compare it to your current monthly benefit amount so you know what your payment will be in January. If something looks off, contact the SSA through the portal or by phone. If you rely solely on mail, know that you should receive your notice in early December. By January, the new benefit amount should take effect because you prepared in advance. You'll already know what to expect, and you'll have verified your banking details. So your first payment under the new rate arrives without a problem. Now let's consider some common scenarios. If your bank account information changed and you did not update it, your direct deposit could bounce or be delayed. Updating your details online prevents that risk. If your address changed and you never told the SSA, you might miss mailed notices or letters. If you didn't create your online account, you'll receive notices by mail only, meaning slower delivery, potential risk if mail is lost, and less to monitor your account proactively. If you have multiple benefits like retirement and SSI, you might have different schedules, and the online account helps you manage them together. Your benefit amount is part of your financial foundation, whether for retirement living, disability income, or supplemental security. When income is limited, knowing what to expect when January rolls around gives you more control over your budget. You can adjust how you save, plan your spending, and check whether your Medicare premiums changed. Even a small increase in benefits can make a difference, but only if you're aware and ready. In summary, your payments from the Social Security Administration are still secure and scheduled as usual. The big change coming is the cost of living adjustment for next year and the need to have your My Social Security account set up by November 19th to access your updated notice online and ensure everything is in place ahead of January. Do not wait. Log in, verify your information, and you'll face the coming change from a position of confidence rather than scrambling at the last minute. Thank you for watching and staying informed. If you found this helpful, share it with friends or family members who also receive Social Security, SSDI or SSI. They may not realize this action is needed and could benefit from this reminder. If you have questions, always reach out directly to the Social Security Administration or visit their official website. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep your benefits protected.